ceremony. So please put your hands together and open your throats with joy to welcome the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Stuart Croft.
Thank you all. Thank you. And let me add my welcome to you as well. It's absolutely wonderful to see this hall absolutely packed with people today. After the last few years, to be able to have a celebration like this is truly, truly wonderful. But particularly congratulations to all of you sitting in the middle of the hall, sitting there in your finery. I look at you now and I can see a few nervous faces, but it's all going to be fine because whatever happens, there will be, as we have heard, plenty of cheering and support. You should be proud of this day and proud of that which you have achieved. And I can assure you that all of us here on this stage, we are proud of you and what you have achieved. And I think I can say safely that amongst the parents, supporters and friends all around the hall, there is plenty of pride too in everything that you have achieved. You've got your degree, you've worked really hard, but you haven't done it all on your own. You've done it with others, with teams, with friends, with family. And so could I ask you today to find some time just to reach out and offer thanks to those that have helped you through the course of your degree to get to this moment. Some, perhaps many of whom, are sitting around this great hall this afternoon. Now I'm going to let you into a little secret, although Piers has really revealed some of it already. And that is that each university has its own customs and culture when it comes to degree ceremonies. Some universities are incredibly somber, quiet, and serious. We, however, are formal, but we do want to enjoy this afternoon. We want every single person to enjoy this afternoon. So we do, please, want to encourage you to make some noise, to let out that thrill and exhilaration for all that work and all that achievement. And I wonder if we could have one more practice now, because you've been entertained by these wonderful student musicians. So don't you think they deserve a thunderous round of applause, our student musicians? Now, of course, completing a degree is an important moment in anyone's life. And of course, important moments do need to be marked. And that is why we have ceremonies of this sort with our fine clothes and our celebrations and our formality. But of course, important moments bring with them both continuity and change. Plenty of change, of course, because you will be leaving something that's very familiar. You will be changing the way in which you work, probably changing people with whom you work, probably changing where you will live, probably changing the kind of sporting and recreational activities that you do. There are many things that will be changing in front of you. But continuity is also incredibly important. The friends that you have made here, they will stay with you. The pride that we are showing today in your achievements, that will stay with you. The skills, the knowledge, the networks, they will stay with you. And I'd like to encourage you, please, to build upon that. Our Warwick alumni community is now over 250,000 strong, in over 100 countries. Everywhere you go in any sector, you will find other Warwick graduates. Warwick graduates willing, prepared, enthusiastic to help current Warwick graduates. Do be a part of that. So please enjoy your day today. Do take time to thank those that have helped you. And in this hall for this afternoon, please, all of you, make a tremendous amount of noise as I declare this ceremony open.
So, that's the official allowance of joy. And just to explain to the graduates how the system works, As I explained at the beginning, we've made some accommodations because it's an incredibly hot day. We've also made some accommodations because of the pandemic. So today is going to be a non-handshaking ceremony. And I was reminded this morning that in July the 16th, 1439, King Henry VI had a similar accommodation when he realized that the Black Death was going all through his land. So he decreed that there should be no kissing. So I would like to add to that, as the graduates come up, if you could resist kissing the Vice-Chancellor, it would really help us an enormous amount. We're very fond of him, and we need him to stay alive for all of these ceremonies. So instead of the kissing that you were planning, what we'll be doing is you'll hear your name read out, you will stride with pride towards your Vice-Chancellor, staying on this black carpet. And when you get to the vegetation there, approximately, when it feels right to you, you turn to your Vice-Chancellor and offer perhaps a nod of acknowledgement, or a full curtsy if you've been practicing that, or any kind of bowing that you wish to do. We recommend, if you are bowing, keeping perhaps one hand on the hat as you go down. However, one of the greatest joys for everyone in this room is when your hats fall off. So feel free to do it the way you feel you want to, and if the hat falls off, if the gown starts to fall off, do not worry. We've checked the regulations going back to 1965, and you will still be legally graduated from the University of Warwick. So don't worry, and enjoy the effect that the clothes falling off has on the audience. So my job is to read out your graduates' degree titles and then their names, their full glorious names, representing perhaps 180 different cultures, countries, religions in this one room, which is part of the glory of the University of Warwick. And this is a long way of saying that I may get some of those names wrong, and I offer my apologies for that. Some of these graduates have very kindly written out phonetic ways to pronounce their names, and I am so grateful. And I am so impressed with the ones who've left it entirely up to me. That is the kind of courage that we need in this country and in this world as you go out there. Either way, any mistakes, mine. So, I think we are ready. We have enough entirely calm graduates standing there ready to go. Vice-Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present these graduates from the Faculty of Arts for the award of their degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I admit these candidates to their degrees.
To the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours. Are you ready? No nerves, because this is a live ceremony, and I've just forgotten to tell you what happens after you have nodded to your Chancellor. So anything goes wrong, definitely my fault. After you have nodded and had that moment of sacred contact, no kissing, with your Vice-Chancellor, you then head straight to the degree award table and get your degree. Okay? To the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Liberal Arts, Anna Natasha Colville. Jagoda Cottingham. Oliver J. Custis. Mariana Sarah George. Krishna Gokani. Madeline Grist. Isabel Hillier-Jones. Carmen Madanavitia. Tireni Oluwa Afrika Odubi. Kushil Pindoria. Louise Rossetti. In liberal arts with intercalated year, Davida Mottram Epson. Celine Marie Nitzila George. Matilda Titilayo Odunton. Alice Betsy Smith. To the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Science with honours in Economic Studies and Global Sustainable Development, Mehika Bajaj. Gabriel Adel Puruganan Kalugahi. Sebastian Cherniktin. Samuel Farrow. Muhammad Hamza Hanif. Emily Hui Ping Hooper. Nikhil Kupadea. Amira Naja Binti Muhammad Khalil. Wen Luong Ronan Xiao. Tabitha Winter. In Global Sustainable Development, Taiwo Adebajo. Joao Alves. Naomi Emmanuel Brandon Bravo. Rushat Chandra. Laura Elizabeth Jane Chevro. Rafaela Daras. Tabitha Elizabeth Davies. Lois Anna Hornby. Ella Rose Ablett Jones. Lissadel Carolus Breinholt. Freya Rose Kelsby. Sophie Anna Kitching. Sarah Allison Lunt. Alexa Claire Mangent. Matteo Federico Mariano. Brian Andrew Moriah. Lucy Parfit. Abdullah Hussain Qureshi. Louise Claudine Marie Rackle. Grace Lindsay Robertson. Tiara Grace Shea. Mariam Adarinsola Shofalahayan. Tia Bibi Slavin. Hannah Sophie Steger. Mahin Sultan Mian. Beth Taylor. Virginia Sarah Thomas Pickle. In Global Sustainable Development and Business Studies, Nissi Akosua Bediako. Shannon Fowler. Dario Mattini. Uvishka Punja. Urija Yusuf Salahuddin. In Global Sustainable Development and Business Studies with intercalated year, Shimon Mikalchik. Victoria Cicely Arendt Schrankler. In Hispanic Studies and Global Sustainable Development, Axel Day. In History and Global Sustainable Development, Georgia Evans. Dylan Pindoria. In Life Sciences and Global Sustainable Development, Katarzyna Zofia Jaworska. Hanna Mikuta. Ella Shea Prosi. Nike Vasilikova. In Philosophy and Global Sustainable Development with intercalated year, Emily Sarah Watson-Breeze. In Politics, International Studies and Global Sustainable Development, Flavie Nanou Jean Ancelin. Igna Borisaite. Pierre Delfour-Givin. Benjamin Pierre Hervé Georges Picot. Lois Catherine Gilhooly. Velea Pombran. Francesca Elizabeth Perry. Katerina Alexandra Chauffleur Mendez. Marguerite Scherer. No pressure at all on Lou Simon! In Psychology and Global Sustainable Development, Madeleine Jemima Evans. Tegan Sky Hayden Smith. Deborah Abisola Oluwasei Kele. In Sociology and Global Sustainable Development, Mary Shantry Jaylands. Maria Victoria Gavrilenko. Lucia Tenorio Rodriguez. And in Sociology and Global Sustainable Development with intercalated year, Sophie Vallis! And this is a game of, so there's 3 presentations of graduates and then 2 awards in between. So it's a game of 5 halves. You've got to sustain that energy all the way to the end. So I now invite to present the Chancellor's Medal, John Greenlees. And as Professor Ian Stewart makes his way, just a reminder that I'll be checking up on your enthusiasm levels with a camera just after this.
That's a very intimidating act to follow, but I have a well-defined task here. Vice-Chancellor, I'm delighted today to present our Chancellor's Medalist, the distinguished Warwick mathematician, science and science fiction writer, Emeritus Professor Ian Stewart. Our Chancellor's Medal is awarded to individuals who have made a valuable and significant contribution to the work of this university. Professor Stewart has spent the whole of his mathematical career at Warwick. He came from Cambridge in 1967 for his PhD, joining Sir Christopher Siemens' newly established maths department, becoming a lecturer in 1969, then reader, professor, and now emeritus professor. Ian's research record covers over 50 years, more than 200 published papers, and 29 successful PhD students, several of whom are among the current academic staff at this university. Starting out in the area of Lie algebras with his PhD thesis, Sub-Ideals of Lie algebras, in 1969 with supervisor Brian Hartley, he moved into catastrophe theory soon after, collaborating with the late Tim Poston, with whom he also co-authored an authoritative textbook on the subject. In the early 80s, it was then a natural move into studying dynamical systems in the presence of symmetry, and an early collaboration with Marty Golubitsky on Hopf bifurcations in the presence of symmetry, unknown to Ian at the time, would lead to a fruitful and prolific research partnership that continues to this day. Indeed, the Springer textbook they collaborated on, along with David Schaffer, Singularities and Groups in Bifurcation Theory, is still the seminal book in this area, affectionately known simply as Volume 2 by those familiar with it. More recently, Ian has extended this work to more general framework dynamics of coupled cells, and in particular patterns of synchrony in these networks. Along the way, his work has also touched on the symmetries of animal locomotion, making better springs using aspects of chaos theory, pattern formation, and trying to understand optical illusions through models of the visual cortex. Ian's teaching has always been informed by his research. He believes the two are inseparable. He's been an inspirational teacher at both undergraduate and postgraduate level, and has written or co-authored 5 well-respected maths textbooks. Through his books, articles, media work, and public lectures, he has reached out to a wider public, making maths accessible, entertaining, and relevant. He is a prolific writer, over 120 books, numerous national and international magazine and newspaper articles, and an award-winning iPad app. He has the gift of immediately engaging his audience's attention, giving his books intriguing titles. One asked, "Does God play dice?" in 1989, and another, "Do dice play God?" in 2019. Introducing, in Professor Stewart's Casebook of Mathematical Mysteries from 2014, a Victorian detective Soames and his sidekick, What's Up? And who but Ian Stewart, delivering the Royal Institution Christmas lectures in 1997, would have illustrated a lecture on symmetry by bringing in a live tiger. Ian regards this as the peak of his lecturing career. How do you follow a tiger, he asks. He has produced 4 critically acclaimed science fiction novels, co-authored with the late Jack Cohen and Tim Poston, and, in 2021, an anthology of his science fiction stories. And of course, there is his famous collaboration with Jack Cohen and Terry Pratchett on the best-selling series, The Science of Discworld. Ian's numerous awards include the Royal Society's Faraday Medal, the Gold Medal of the Institute of Mathematics and Its Applications, the IMA, the AAAS Public Understanding of Science Award, and the Zeeman Medal from the IMA and the London Mathematical Society. He was made a Fellow of the Royal Society in 2001, holds 5 honorary doctorates, and is an honorary wizard of the Unseen University on Discworld. He's been one of the main driving forces behind the quality, high ranking, and popular appeal of Warwick mathematics. It is with great pleasure that we recognise, with the award of the Chancellor's Medal, his significant contribution to the university's research, teaching, and accessibility. Vice-Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you for the award of the Chancellor's Medal, Emeritus Professor Ian Stewart.
What a wonderful speech for a wonderful man. Thank you for that. Congratulations, Professor Ian Stewart, and thank you, Professor John Greenlees. Anyone who can make mathematics, I speak from the heart, anyone who can make mathematics entertaining, accessible, and relevant from a dyscalculic, I thank you. I thank you. So, we now move on to our second presentation. Vice-Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present these graduates from the faculties of Science, Engineering, and Medicine for the award of their degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I admit these candidates to their degrees.
So you remember the rules? You walk towards your Vice-Chancellor, you reach the vegetation, there's nodding. Once the nodding has happened, there's a little sacred moment there. I believe that is the point at which you get your degree. But then you will want to go straight down through the table to actually get the physical paper evidence of your degree. To the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Mathematics, Darian Mays. Igor Bogdan Sikora. Benjamin Mark Stratford. Aidan Louis Templeton Brown. In mathematics and complexity science, Jonathan Matthew Skip. In mathematics and statistics, Hanson Bart. Dominic Nicholas Hugh Brockington. Philip Hansen. Jaromir Sant. Jack Robert Thomas. In mathematics of systems, Cameron Philip Lack. Tristan Stuart Leng. Christopher Alexander Norman. Charlotte Daisy Roman. Emma Rose Southall. To the degree of Master of Engineering with honours in Electronic Engineering, Vikasa Sujanani. Degree of Master of Mathematics with honours, Stefan de la Cerda Adamovich. Firosh Ferdoz Aidanwala. Amy Callista Alsop. Joshua Reuben Appleton. Pooja Rajesh Akruketi. Samuel Norton Baldwin. Elliot David Barnes. Ryan Franciscus Barrett. Danesh Astad Burana. Benedetta Bertoli. Simeon Daniel Bott. Henry James Bray. George Burgess. Rory Peter Tierney Burke. Matthew Patrick Carey. Louis Chan. Man Hae John Chia. Edward James Churchill. William Cohen. Liam Anthony Cox. Tiernan Finn James Curran Feeney. Ukanksha Dave. Alfie Morgan Davis. Christopher Davison. Sohan Singh Desi. Sebastian Tristan Dooley. Matthew Edward George Dobson. Alexander Nicholas Dunton. Ali Yasser Farahat. Ryan Peter Farnes. Charlotte Finch.